If you learn about the technology and what is happening and the culture, you can be the next Steve Jobs. You can be the next Facebook of Web3 by using Web3 technology.
Welcome to Actionable, the podcast that provides actionable advice for entrepreneurs navigating the tech and business landscape in Dubai. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or just starting out, this podcast will provide you with actionable insights from local founders and industry experts to get you on the fast track to success. Let's take your business to the next level. Welcome everyone to this week's show of Actionable. I'm Michael Makdah, your podcast host, and with me today I have an extraordinary guest, Michaela Lallouz, known as Mika, a Web3 strategist, mental health artist, filmmaker, journalist, public speaker, director, and actress. Through her art, that she's inspired by mental health struggles in young adults that face today, and through her experience as an early adopter of Web3, she has led and educated a collective following of over 100,000 people all over the world. She has created a safe place where anyone can join in the revolutionary opportunity this new technology offers humanity, and simplified the Web3 concepts so anyone can understand them. As a result of her education and involvement in communities, she has seen a 10x return on all her investments. So let's learn from her more today. So Mika, let us start with Web3. Is it regarded as the future of the internet as we know it? What is it exactly?
All right. Well, first off, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. So this is my favorite question because I think that a lot of people skip through the understanding or educational part of what is Web3. So to understand what Web3 is, we have to understand what Web1 is. So Web 1 was the creation of the internet, and that looked like just a read-only web. And this was in the early 90s. And then we pivoted, we evolved to Web 2, which was the read and interact. So that meant that we can post a blog and then we can comment on it.
Right, or Facebook.
And so, yeah, and then which evolved to Facebook and then Instagram and Twitter and WhatsApp and literally every app that we use today.
Right.
Now we are pivoting to what we are calling Web 3 or Web 3.0. And it's just at the beginning stages, and that encompasses blockchain technology, metaverse, digital assets, and essentially ownership.
Right.
So in Web 2, when Facebook and Twitter and all of these apps that we use today came about, it's very exciting and obviously revolutionary, but something is happening or has happened where these companies essentially owned our data. And what they do with it is very private, and the way that they, structure their algorithms is private as well. So in Web 3, what's happening is that hopefully, as we continue to build, that we can get ownership of our data and actually see what is being built and what the data is being used for and how these algorithms are operating by using blockchain technology, which is essentially a verification technology, a public ledger, so we can see exactly what's going on, how companies are building and how things are being built.
Fantastic. And I would assume on this transformation journey from Web 2 to Web 3, we're still at a very early stage, right?
Definitely. We are very early, which is very exciting because this is an invitation to everybody to come on and build. If you learn about the technology and what is happening and the culture, you can be the next Steve Jobs. You can be the next Facebook of Web3 by using Web3 technology.
Right. And that would sort of help me understand something here, which is what's in it for businesses, what's in it for users, and how are they going to both benefit from Web3?
There's many ways for businesses and users to benefit in Web3. So it's a big question because it's almost like looking at Web2, and we saw how it literally changed the world, you know, by introducing Facebook and all of these Web2 apps. It changed it in every single industry. So Web3 is going to come in and do the same and change it for every industry. To kind of get into the specifics, I think that it's going to change the way that education is going to happen. I think there are learn to earn programs, you know, where people can get rewarded for learning. It's going to change the way that companies are being ran with DAO technology, decentralized autonomous organizations. So how people vote, how people contribute. It's going to change communities and how they're ran. It's going to change ownership. So, you know, people post their content and their data online for free right now, but with NFTs, non-fungible tokens, you can have digital ownership of your assets, and hopefully with gaming as well. So every single industry is going to be essentially disrupted.
Wow.
And it's very exciting, you know. So for people in businesses to say, no, I don't want it to be disrupted. It's like, no, you can embrace the change because it's happening anyways. Just like how people were not that excited about the .com boom, and they said that internet was a fad. Well, look at where we are
today.
you know. So.
Right. And so what has interested you personally into going into Web3?
So for me, it happened in a little bit of a quote unquote dark place, a dark time, and it happened during the pandemic. But this was kind of like a blessing in disguise. I was, you know, at home, like most of us. I was in Canada, and it was very cold, and there was not much to do other than be inside. And what got me interested in Web3 was joining this app called Clubhouse, and it's kind of like this online podcast. So kind of like what we're doing today, but imagine you and I are talking, and then there's 50 people from all over the world joining the conversation. So I was directing a music video. So I have a background in film, and one of the artists was listening to one of the rooms of Clubhouse, and it sounded very interesting. They were talking about things that I had no idea what they were talking about. And I have a background in, you know, being in film, so tech and stuff like that. So I'm like, wait, I've never heard about this before. What's going on? And I had heard about cryptocurrency, but it didn't really interest me because I was like, I don't have money to lose. That's what I was thinking at the time. So I joined the room on Clubhouse, and there was people from all over the world sharing their story so it was called NFTs Share Your Story. And this moved me, because it was just strangers in a quote unquote dark time, just embracing one another, sharing their story, making people feel less alone. And then every single day I would show up because there would be NFT 101,
okay,
MetaMask 101, Metaverse 101, blockchain, just people teaching each other. And I'm like, this is going to change the way that we learn. Like, we were learning together about what this new wave of technology was. And I just wanted to show up every day because I was like, this is like a playground to, you know, innovate in. And I later on released my artwork, and it's just been such an incredible journey. So what got me was the community aspect.
Gotcha. One of the interesting fields that you have expertise is mental health and its importance. Please share with us what work you are doing in this direction and where you think mental health fits in the overarching business scene.
Sure. So, you know, mental health, people have been speaking about this, emotional intelligence, emotional well-being. So for me, I have always been tapping into this because I saw like a rise in mental health issues in our youth today. And, you know, like our children, our youth is the seeds of, you know, the future. Right. So it's hard to not really pay attention to it. And then obviously I've struggled with my own, you know, emotional well-being, and especially in the pandemic. So I actually would do reflective journaling on photographs I was taking of myself, just to kind of show people what's really going on. You know, I'm like, you see a photo on Instagram or social media, and you might think, oh, this is an aesthetically pleasing photo of this person, but what's really going on in their mind? So I released that and then opened up that discussion in the Web3 community, and then I started to make money by selling my art. So it was almost like putting the paint in the painting, and then it's just a very empowering feeling to profit off of something that was really painful for you, you know, and then it just trickled down. So honestly, it's just a lot of blessings in disguise. But I used to make films on kind of short films for youth on social media to, you know, empower them to make a decision and show them that they're not alone. And it's always been in my line of work, which we could talk about whenever you want, the children's series that I work with. So everything that I do always has to do with emotional intelligence, emotional well-being, and just showing people they're not alone in their struggles.
Right. So I think this is a good time to bring up Mission Bonita. So what's the story behind it?
Yeah, so Mission Bonita is based off of Miss Bonita and Friends, which is a children's series, a video series created by my mother, actually, Michaela Lallouz. And it focuses, it's basically the magic school bus of emotional intelligence. So it focuses on, it's basically about a 16-year-old girl after school play group and a mismatched group of children coming from all different backgrounds who help other children around the world, other people, solve their problems. So the whole series, again, focuses on emotional intelligence and emotional well-being for children around the world and gives them different tools on how they could solve their problems. So it's something I've been working on since I'm 15. So it's very dear to my heart. And we're coming to the UAE. So it's based in North America, but essentially globally, right? Because now with the internet and stuff like that. But we are coming to the UAE, and I'm very, very excited about that. And I'm also going to encompass Web3, of course, with it.
I mean, why have you picked UAE? Are there any government regulations? Are there any support that you're getting from local institutions that are helping you bring your business here?
So why the UAE? The UAE just is, first of all, the government here really cares about education and tolerance. I think maybe 2 years ago or so it was named, the Year of Tolerance, and I think that there's just people from all over the world here, and I don't know, there's nothing like it. Like I can't explain, even though I'm coming from North America, which this is based off of, it's just here, so many cultures and people are celebrated, as well as emotional intelligence. So that's kind of why it's here.
Gotcha. So you officially moved here. We can say that
Yeah.
Mika lives here. All right.
Mika lives here, yeah.
Great. So welcome.
Thank you.
And how have people in Dubai sort of responded to your work and Web3?
Actually amazing. I speak about this often, but a lot of people ask me online, what's it like being a woman in Dubai, and like what's going on? And I'm like, honestly, I feel like I'm treated here so much better than everywhere else in the world. So Dubai is the best place for Web3 initiatives because I don't know what it is about North America and everywhere else really, but I feel like in America it's a very dog-eat-dog world, like shark eats shark. And here, most people that come, they really come with this desire to collaborate. And whenever you go to, first of all, there's networking events for Web3 here every day. I've never seen something like that. In North America, it kind of slowed down, but here there is a Web3 event every single weekend. There is something to do, there's people to meet, and everybody that meets you, just anybody, not just me. I have many people that come and have the same experience. They want to collaborate with you. So I think people here really understand the need for collaboration. And honestly, to me, that's the key for success. And it's just beautiful to see people from all over the world. I love going to networking events and meeting people from London and just South Africa and, America and Canada, just everywhere, so.
Gotcha. And sort of like emerging technology trends or any high-level trends that are, impacting Web3 or the development of this space in 2023. Is there anything that's sort of pushing the change or impacting these mega trends to sort of take part?
So in regards to trends for Web3, it gets a little interesting because things move so quick in this space. So by the time, this podcast is released, or, that by the time that somebody kind of has a meeting about something, boom. It's changed. It's like we're moving so quick, which is a really good thing, but also a bad thing in a way for traditional companies. So the trend is honestly changing every single day, which again is exciting. Like, you need to embrace change. So currently it's hard to say, but what I can say to keep an eye out for is just having your finger on the pulse. So of course, following me on social media is one good way to have your finger on the pulse. But the whole hub of the Web3 space really is on Twitter. So currently, and it's been this way now for over a year and a half or so. So it's definitely, you can find a lot of trends by following the right people in the Web3 space. You'll find what the trend is of that week.
So discussing trends and what's happening. So what's your take on cryptocurrency? I mean, we hear a lot about, the collapse of FTX online. I mean, cryptocurrency, here to stay or go. Where does that have to do in tomorrow's future, and the impact of FTX on the industry?
I'm very surprised at how quickly the market has recovered since FTX. I was thinking that it was just, a lot of people might have left because money was lost, but nope. Things are booming. NFT projects are soaring. I mean, an NFT project just the other day made $14 million in literally an hour, and it's just like, wow, that was shocking to me. But so let's reel it back. The whole situation with FTX was very devastating. A lot of people lost their money, and that is never. It really impacted. It impacted everybody. Especially me. Although I didn't lose money, it definitely woke up a lot of people in the cryptocurrency world, in the Web3 space, to get more educated in what a centralized exchange is and what it means to actually own your keys, own your crypto. So this made a lot of people want to pivot into understanding what a cold storage wallet is, or kind of how to take better care and really understand the use cases of decentralization and owning your assets. So it was I saw a lot of people being driven to get educated, which is a very good thing, because education is the number one way to become profitable in this space. If you want to win in this space, no matter who you are, whether you're coming in as a marketing company or just any business, education. Another thing to look at is that, FTX doesn't represent the technology. A centralized exchange is just the same as a bank.
Right.
And it should be used. Centralized exchanges should be used just to, if you want to buy crypto or if you want to sell your crypto. It shouldn't necessarily be used to keep your funds in crypto, because you're giving your assets to somebody else. And the whole point, in a way, of Web3 or crypto is that you can own it, or it's peer-to-peer. Right. So definitely I think this made a lot of people pivot and understand, because when you're dealing with a lot of money, what's shocking to me is that you don't even understand what a centralized exchange is, but you have so much money in it. People are throwing a lot of money into crypto, into NFTs, but they're not fully educated, and that's where they get burned.
About data sovereignty and data ownership, these are two terms that are being tied to Web3 and more often these days. Is the average user today ready to take the ownership of their data?
I think so. With proper education, I definitely think so. I think that we see people lose their accounts on Instagram overnight, and there's nothing they can do about it, or Twitter as well. So with Web3, you can't really take it away if you own it. So especially, or in gaming, let's say if Fortnite decides to shut off their servers, all of your digital assets that you bought there is gone.
All right. So lastly, would you agree that any conversation about technology is incomplete without the mention of Dubai? Where do you see Dubai heading in the technology world? That is about to unfold. Is there a suggestion you'd like to share that businesses here can benefit from?
Yeah, it's about to be an exciting time. I think Dubai is going to be, it is the leading in the Web3 space, in the crypto world, because the government is excited about this technology and this new venture. You know, in the metaverse report, it says that Dubai is investing $4 billion into the metaverse strategy, as well as by the year 2030, going to have 48,000 jobs that are dedicated to the metaverse. And that is exciting for somebody like me. That is why I pivoted, you know, myself here a year ago so that I can be kind of early in a way to this. And I'm seeing it unfold and I love it.
Great, great, great. If anyone wants to connect with you, what's the best way to do so?
On Twitter, or, you know, I'm active on TikTok, on Twitter, on Instagram. Be careful of fake accounts writing to you. I will never ask you for, you know, everybody has to be careful, you know, with social engineering. Your friends or anybody could be getting hacked, and always make sure it's the right username. But yeah, on those social media platforms.
Great. So to conclude our interview, we'd like to give a special thanks to you, Mika, for joining us today. We appreciate your insights and expertise on the topic. Thank you everyone who tuned into this episode of the Actionable Show. We hope that you have found the value in today's conversation and look forward to continuing the journey with you next week. Thanks again.
Thank you.